I've genuinely cried all day, and I have been looking up ways to put in complaints to the press ombudsman against all these reporters and all these news articles, because for me, like you, Liam's family is seeing this. Liam's family will have to protect Bear in the future because the lies after lies after lies coming out. How do they do that? How do we, as Liam's fans and wanting to support the Paynes, how do we get across that we will not put up with this? And we can come on TikTok, we can go on X, we can go on Instagram as well, Facebook. But is that enough? In the UK, press rules are governed by a standards framework and editor's code of practice enforced by the Independent Press Standards organisations. Publishers must avoid publishing inaccurate, misleading or distorted information. A swift and prominent correction must be issued when a significant inaccuracy is found. Now, for the last 93 going into 94 weeks, inaccurate information has been put out, and nothing we have said in tweets, in posts, has stopped them. In actual fact, they double down. Most of the time, they use this man, Federico Fashionbender, or whatever his name is, to copy and paste from. He was the one who puts out information, Infobay, and then he sells that on to the New York Post. The Daily Mail also has him as a writer. So he's doing a lot of the work behind the scenes to make sure Liam Payne's name is desecrated and the suspects get off. And it started as soon as it was announced that Liam had passed away. If we look at this photo, you can see the green T-shirt in the background and the TV smashed. It was said that he'd done this in his room and this was the evidence. However, today, the evidence has changed. There is no green top in the corner. There is no champagne flutes there. It's a cup of tea and a kettle, I think. And the TV is smashed in a different way. Surely, if the press are putting out these publishings, they should be looking at the facts they are putting out and the evidence, because, as I said earlier, everything comes with receipts. They also haven't checked CCTV timestamps. So it said that Liam came downstairs and met with the girls, and he met them, according to CCTV, at 13:56. He was wearing his green trousers and white top. However, on this timestamp, it's 15:16 when he meets them and takes them to his room. But then he goes back in time 4 hours and he's seen up by his door. So the timestamps are wrong. How is nobody in the press getting up and saying, we're putting out this evidence, but it doesn't match up to the storylines? Stories that have been told, even. Sorry, it's not a storyline, it's not a movie. This is real life. In the Sun article, we are told Roger left the country with Kate. He wasn't around Liam. In the Daily Mail article, it states that Roger got to the hotel around after 4. However, apparently he was at the hotel talking to Esteban at 15:53. So for me, if I was a journalist, I would be sitting here going, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. Let's fight it. Because again, we go back to Liam wasn't just a celebrity. He was a father, a son, a brother, an uncle and a friend. And people are hanging on to the fact that allegedly he was off the rails. Yet the toxicology reports they are putting in each article have been changed from the official one, and it actually states that only trace amounts were found on his body, and that means very low quantity. The concentration of the rug, alcohol or poison is near zero or at the minimum threshold. So did he really have high amounts of things in his body, like the press are saying, or was it Tracy's? And I tend to believe what Fiscalis put out. They want to make sure that we know Liam has spent thousands on alcohol. However, what they fail to realise is these receipts are in Argentinian pesos. So realistically, Liam only spent $15.52 in English money, and then £330.39. So where was it thousands? They used a distraction technique to prove that Liam had done all this. And since the beginning, we have always seen this picture of Liam standing at the lift, waiting to go to his room. No ifs, no buts. But when you look at this photo, and this is what breaks my heart even more, is the fact that there is no beard. So how did he shave his beard and grow it back within an hour? And when you think all these people putting out all these articles, they've all got families. What is so different about Liam that they think this is okay? And one thing that's always stood out to me is the fact that they say he fell off the balcony and have shown where he landed. But there's a retractable roof, and I go over it every single time. You can see it from the first images that the Daily Mail published. The bar is intact, but today they're stating that he fell over and smashed his head on an umbrella. The umbrellas are up. They're not discarded. I will never, ever even say that I am 100% correct. I do research. I do go back over my videos. I do make sure that everything aligns. And then I put out the discrepancies. But how do we as a collective fight to clear Liam's name and get justice for his family when we're against the media, who, no matter what they see online, and we know they're watching because they said, oh, wild fan theories, won't investigate properly? And if this is how we're feeling, can you imagine how the Paynes are feeling? It's incomprehensible for me. And I've been over everything today. As I said, I was looking into how to complain against the press. How do we get them to investigate? Is there a way that we can get articles taken down? How do we fight for Liam's name? What can we do to help the Paynes when at every twist and turn the industry have failed them, the media has failed them, the judicial service has failed them? And I just hope the Paynes do take some comfort in the fact that we're sitting here calling out their bullshit. Not the Paynes bullshit, but the press's bullshit. Because if I was the press, as I said, and I saw all this, I'd be fighting my editor to try and put out the truth.